At the time of recording this video, we've had confirmation of 8 new races being added to Red Dead Online. By the time you're seeing this video, which is Tuesday the 25th of May, those races will already have been pushed to the game. So in this video, I'm going to be giving you 11 different tips which should help you win more races within Red Dead Online. Before I do get into the video, if you do want to see any more content from me, there will be a link in the description down below which will take you over to the second channel. On that second channel, we stream every Monday, Wednesday and Friday, and as we are building up to the next Red Dead Online update, as soon as that's released, we will probably head to daily streams. So if you do want to see that, there will be a link in the description down below. But getting back into the video, I don't show much gameplay of races on this channel, but I do enjoy going through them a lot. The issue that I found with them is as soon as Red Dead Online was released, I went through them as much as I possibly could. So I actually know some of these races like it's the back of my hand. I've gone through them so many times and I've had quite a lot of success when going through them that it has just become boring for me. And hopefully with the new update, which will push 8 new races, it should start to feel a bit more fresh. And this is when I get back into the swing of things and actually go through these races a lot more. But because in my spare time I have spent a lot of time going through all the original races, I thought I should be the person to give you the tips on how to win more races within the game. So the first tip is to make sure that you do have the correct horse. Most players that are trying to buy a horse specifically for a race will actually go to the race category. This is actually a mistake. All of these different categories for horses don't matter because there's only 2 stats that's actually important on a horse, and this is stamina and health. Everything else that is available is completely pointless, whether it be speed, acceleration, or even handling. So instead of going to the race horses, what you need to do is go all the way down to multi. There you will find your role horses. This is your Breton, Criollo, Cladruba, Norfolk Roadster, and Gypsy Cob. I recommend going for the Cladruba and Gypsy Cob if you're looking to go into races. Both can have max stamina and max health. Now, whatever horse you pick, make sure you're going for the most expensive one. The most expensive one is the rank 20 horse, and the reason it is the most expensive at $950 is because it does have the best stats. This is exactly what you want to go for. If you are tight on a budget, you don't need to buy both, just pick one and make sure you stick with it for a while. And the good thing about this is it's not just one horse that's going to be used for just racing. It can be used for absolutely everything within Red Dead. These are the best horses within the game. Moving on to point number 2, you want to make sure that you have the best saddle. Saddles, as well as other things within the game, can increase certain stats with your horse. And just so we're keeping this video quick and to the point, make sure you're going for the Nacogdoches saddle, which costs $512. The color is entirely up to you, it makes no difference. And once you've selected this saddle, make sure you're going all the way down to stirrups and you're buying the most expensive one, which is the hooded stirrups at $86.40. This is all you need for the best saddle within the game, and this provides the benefit when you do actually apply it to your horse. Everything else that you can add to the saddle is just cosmetics. You don't need to buy anything else, but at the same time, if you were to go and buy anything else, it doesn't really punish you. This is entirely up to you and your choice of what you want to add to your horse. But we are not quite done yet, because moving on to point number 3, you still need to get your horse to level 4 bonding. The Cladruba and the Gypsy Cob can get max health and max stamina. But before that, you must make sure you have the correct saddle, which was the previous point, and you also must make sure you get to level 4 bonding. This is very easy. As long as you're riding a horse, feeding a horse, you will get XP. That XP will eventually rank you up within this level. It won't be too long until you get level 4 bonding. At point number 4, we have a very simple one. This is make sure your horse's cores are always full. This sounds so simple, but the amount of times that I've hopped into other people's streams and seen that their character hasn't got full cores or their horse hasn't got full cores either. This is such an easy solution. Just make sure your character is eating and just make sure you're also feeding your horse. It sounds like such a small thing, but this has a huge benefit, especially once you do get into the races and you do get into conflict, because other players are going to try and kill you. Moving on to point number 5, this is ability cards. Ability cards will provide you a benefit when going through these races, and even though there's a lot of ability cards to select from, there's only a few that will actually benefit you within races. My ability card loadout is as followed whenever I do go into a race. It's Painted Black, Horseman, Ride Like the Wind, and Friends for Life. Everything with the exception of Painted Black does have a benefit for you and your horse. And as you will be going through these races on horseback, and the second you leave your horse you actually have to respawn, then it makes sense for you to have ability cards which benefit you whilst on horseback. The only one here that doesn't have a benefit is Paint It Black, but there is actually no Deadeye ability cards which will actually benefit you in this situation, so you could just leave it as whatever it is you normally have when you're in free roam. At number 6, you should definitely be taking advantage of pickups. No matter what race you're going through, whether it be standard, open race, target race, or open target race, there will be pickups along the way. Make sure that you're going through them. This could be stamina, which will help benefit you and your horse, or it could be weapons, which will then be used to go and shoot other enemies. And the reason you want to go and make sure that you're picking all of this up is because at number 7, we want to make sure that we're being aggressive. You want to hit players, shoot players, crash into them, everything. And I know for a lot of people, they don't want to go through this. They just want to go from point to point and hopefully win the race. The thing is here though, is that if you have mercy, the chances are they won't. There's been so many situations where I could have killed some enemies behind or some enemies in front of me, and I didn't, and a few seconds later, they managed to go and kill me. If you see an opportunity to take someone down, you should probably take them down. At number 8, it is a smart idea to shoot horses rather than players. When you get past the point of not wanting to shoot other players and you do actually start playing aggressive, most players start aiming their weapons at other players, but this is a mistake. Remember, these races are free aim, and the only way you're going to get a one-shot kill is with a headshot. And even for the best of players within the world, this is still very hard to hit. You'll be trying to get a headshot whilst being in a free aim lobby, whilst on top of that being on horseback, which is going to be very, very rough and bumpy when going across the terrain. The smart idea here is to stop trying to aim for the head and getting that one-shot kill, and instead shoot down at the horse. Horses make for a much bigger target, they're easier to hit, and with the weapons that are added as pickups, they all have enough ammo or power to kill that horse. And if you do kill the horse, it has the exact same effect as killing the players, because they will need to wait to be spawned back in again. At point number 9, we have learn the race. This might seem obvious, and with the likes of standard races and target races, it is a linear track. But for open and open target races, there's a route which is best to go through. And the game does give you the benefit of whenever you go into one of these races, it does show you where each checkpoint is, and you can actually take a few seconds to memorize this and then go through that when actually going through the race. With open races and open target races that belong within Sisika Penitentiary, Blackwater, and also Saint Denis, I know the best route every single time. Because most players don't take the time to actually realize where every checkpoint is, I actually win every single time. You want a situation where your final checkpoint is very close to the finish line and you don't have to travel another 30 seconds for you to find that finish line. From there, it's just about working backwards, whatever's closest and wherever you actually start. With Sisika Penitentiary, you actually want to ride over to the prison, get all the checkpoints around there, and then come back on yourself. And as long as you know the best route for every single race, you will win it every single time, because most players don't even bother. They just ride around trying to find whatever's the closest one and always end up in a bad situation when they need to find the finish line. Moving on to number 10. You don't want to be first throughout the whole race, you just want to finish first. Now in a previous tip, that was specifically for open races and open target races. This one is specifically for your standard races and your target races. It is never a smart idea at the beginning of the race to try and get out in front. You will instantly become a target, and because of the way that Rockstar have designed races, you are actually put at a disadvantage. If you're out in first place, you'll probably notice that your horse is slightly slower so that those in second and third place can catch up. This is supposed to lead to more interesting gameplay, as there will be much more conflict as you get towards the finish line. But knowing this means that you could use it as your advantage. As soon as the race starts, let everyone else try to push out in front. Those players will get into fights, they'll start hitting each other, they'll finally get to those pickups and they'll start trying to shoot each other. By the time you get halfway through the race, you're probably in podium position, as most of the players have been killed, they've died by crashing, and they've been sent back. It's now about using the rest of the race to use the tips that have been included within this video and use them to your advantage to finally push into that first place position as you go across the finish line. Moving on to the final point of this video, and it is just to use the correct weapons. Now unfortunately you can't go into these races with your own weapon loadout. But as already said within a previous tip, there are pickups that you can go through which will give you weapons. You just want to make sure that you're going for the correct ones. The best weapons to go for is the shotgun and also the bow. The shotgun will be used to be taking out other players, or more specifically to aim down and shoot their horses. If you're close enough, the shotgun will be a one-shot kill. So with the ammo that you're given, you should be able to take out 2 other players. The bow, on the other hand, is the best weapon to use for target races. You actually start with this weapon no matter which target race you go into, but most players try to aim for the other pickups and pick up revolvers, pistols, repeaters, rifles and shotguns and use those for the targets instead. This is a mistake. With the way that some of these races have been designed, they've been designed with the bow in mind. So there's positions in every single one of these open target races where you can actually just stay on one spot, carry on going round in circles and just keep on shooting the nearby targets. This can only be done with a bow and can't be done with any other weapon that's available. So make sure that you are using the correct weapons when going through these races. Anyway guys, those are 11 different tips that you can use to win more Red Dead Online races. If you do everything that is included within this video, I guarantee you'll win a lot more. This is something that I've been doing ever since the beginning of Red Dead Online, and it has proven very well for me. If you do have any questions, feel free to leave it in the comment section. If you do want to see some of these tips put into action, as we will be going through some of these new races that have been added as part of this new update, then a link in the description down below will take you over to the second YouTube channel. The second YouTube channel, we are over there streaming, and as we're coming up to new Red Dead Online content, we'll be streaming a lot of this game. Anyway guys, thank you very much for watching. I hope you guys did enjoy. If you did enjoy, don't forget to leave a like and subscribe, but for now, I'm going to see ya.